Chapter 7, Section 7.3, Statistic. So we have discussed formula of proportions in Section 7.1. 7.2, we discussed how to calculate the range for the mean of populations. Now, the last one is how to find the range for a standard deviation of populations. There is only one formula, and S is the standard deviation of the sample and its number of samples, and X2L and X2R. I'm going to go over these two values and how to find it through the graph. And this is just a symbol. It's not like X to power of 2. It's just X2L is just a symbol, and X2R is a symbol that we use. So these are the formula. If we ask you to find the variance, remember variance is always sigma to power of 2. This is variance. And when you take a square root of the variance, is always the standard deviations. Okay, so that's the difference between variance and the standard. Standard deviation basically square root of variance. Now, the shape of the graph for a standard deviation is not symmetric anymore. Tails are still the same, but the shapes are not symmetric. Area of these two always, area of two tails always remain the same, okay? And the table that we use for this section is this one, chi-square distribution, X2. What you have on the left is degree of freedom, which is n-1. At the top, it said area to the right of the critical value, okay? These are critical value. These two numbers, X2R and X2L, they are critical value. Why? Because they are on the border of the critical zones. So when we say the area to the right means this area, and what is the area to the right of this point is all this, okay? So like for instance, for this one, and let me just write here, n is 22. All right, so let's say you have this pictures, and it was 95%, I believe, it was 95% confidence. It was 95% confidence. So that means, again, we subtract 0.95 from 1, which is 0.05. This is area of two tails. And when you divide by 2, area of each tail is 0.025. So although they don't look equal in the picture, but they are the same. Okay? So I want to calculate X2R. On the table, it said area to the right of critical value, to the right of, let's say area to the right of X2R. What area is to the right of this? Is this one. It's 0.025, okay? So area to the right of X2R is 0.025. And df, which is n minus 1, since n is 22 in the problem, is 21. So that's how you calculate the area. Let me see if I have a table for that that shows that thing here. See? 21 and area to the right is 0.025. That gives you these numbers, 35.479. Okay. So that's X2R. X2R, it's 35.479. Okay. Now I want to find area to the right of this point. What area is to the right of this point? I show you with a yellow block. Whole thing, all of this is area to the right. So there are two ways to do it. One, you just say, okay, I know this one is 0.95 and this one is 0.025. So 0.95 plus 0.025 is 0.975. Area to the right of this point is yellow one is 0.975, or you know the total area under each curve is always 1, and all I need to do is subtract 0.025 from it. So that would be 0.975. Area to the right of this point is always 0.975. So when you go on the table, now area to the right is 0.975 with the n of 21. 0.9 area to the right, 0.971 and 975, and this is 21. It gives you this number, 10.283. Okay. What is important in this section is how to find X2L and X2R. Because we normally give you the sample mean. So here, that's how to do the calculations of that. Here you see the different pictures. If the DF is different, then you have a different graph. It just shows you how the graph here is not symmetric, see? And if you have a different DF, you end up having a different shape of your graph. And degree of freedom is n-1. In this example, there are 22 IQ scores, so n is 22, and a standard deviation is given. See, when a standard deviations and n is given, all you need to do is find the X2L and X2R. A standard deviation and number of samples is given. All I need to do is find X2L and X2R. See, N and S is given. I find we already show you how to calculate X2L and X2R. You put it there and you find. A standard deviation, you cannot find it through the graph unless you, through the calculator, unless you load particular software. He said, download and install Michael Lloyd program. And then do this. Now, I'll also show you examples here. It said, in exercise 528, use the given information to find a number of degree of freedom, critical value X2L and X2R. But pay attention here, it says sample has been selected from population with a normal distribution. That's one of the conditions that we need to have for these problems. So on this one, a standard deviation is given, 16 subject, mean is 98.9. See, and I have the solution here. A standard deviation, we need it here. Mean is given, we need it there. Okay. And 98% confidence. When it's 98, then what is left? 0.02. So area of each tail is 0.01. So what is the area to the right of the first one? 0.01. And what's the area from here to the right again? What is this area? All this. From here to the right. I show it here. One is 0.99, one is 0.01. These two numbers are X2R and X2L. And all the time you understand that these numbers are always positive. X2L should be value less than X2R. So X2L is 5.2 and X2R is 30. So the number increases as you go to the right. So that's how to calculate range for standard deviations.